We've got two fucking idiots driving for us. This is not acceptable. We will make changes.
I guess we could just close out this podcast and not a full review, but just some thoughts and comments about Netflix's Drive to Survive season 2. Full disclosure, I have not watched the entire series just yet. I didn't want to binge watch it because I kind of wanted to enjoy it over a longer period of time, but I think I'm about 4 or 5 episodes in. I know you've watched all of it or most of it.
I have watched all of it.
All of it, okay. So,
I definitely binged through it, but
Don't try to savor it.
okay.
because in my opinion, I thought season 2 was not as well done as season 1. I think in season 1 we saw a lot of really interesting storylines, a lot of storylines that kind of played into effect going into last season. And I find this season they didn't cover it quite as well. I'm trying to do it without giving away any spoilers.
I know I told you, like, the whole Vettel, like, they were in Canada for Montreal. They were
Yeah.
at the race, and they didn't cover the whole Vettel Hamilton thing.
Like they covered Renault. Like Renault was their main storyline for Montreal. Like there was so many like I get their point of view that they're trying to make the series more to attract people to watch F1, but there's people who already watch F1 that want to watch the series, you know? Like they don't need to be shown all this stuff that wasn't as huge. I want to know more about this, you know, like the Montreal incident. I want to know the whole Charles and Max rivalry thing, like
Yeah.
how that started off and where it's going. The Anton Hubert episode was really well done. We talked about it. It was a really nice little tip of the hat to give, as well as the whole Niki Lauda episode.
Yeah.
That was well done as well. So it has bright moments, but just overall, it wasn't as good as season 1 if you compare it directly to that.
Yeah, it almost seemed like they just kind of threw everything together. They just didn't have as much
Yeah.
time, or they didn't really have any clear direction on where they wanted to go with the episodes. But
Yeah, like it almost. I mentioned this earlier, but it almost felt like they were just trying. They were trying to be funny by adding in little clips here and there.
Yeah.
You know, like the whole everybody's seen it online with the whole Daniel Ricciardo thing. Like Mercedes forgetting their name at least 4 or 5 times. It's like they just try to add little things to try to be a little bit more funny, but they could have taken that away and given more time to the actual storyline.
Yeah.
You know, like that's what I care about more. I understand they're trying to make these people seem more lighthearted, but at the end of the day, it's a really serious sport. But yeah.
yeah, they missed a lot of big things. And like, remember in season 1, they did a great episode on Ricardo winning in Monaco and the way they sort of built that dramatic moment.
Yeah.
They could have done that for, like, again, for the Canada incident. They showed Max versus Charles in Austria, but they just built it up so poorly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and that's the thing, is I understand that you're making it for fans who've never watched it, but if you're a fan who's never watched the sport, what better way than to show the racing? And we had a lot of great racing last year, but they didn't really showcase any of that stuff.
No.
Like, they could have built up, and again, that Max win in Austria was phenomenal. The battle between him and Charles in Silverstone was amazing.
Yep.
So they could have done, like you said, a whole episode just on that rivalry. And we talked about this before as well, too. All the young drivers. You could dedicate an episode to Lando and George and Albon and Charles and Max and incorporate that all into an episode and say, like, hey, look, this is the future of our sport. So better start watching now because this is the peak time for this stuff. So
yeah. If you want to
They-
get into the sport, this is kind of the time. Like you said, all these young drivers coming in, they're going to be driving, hopefully for the next 10 to 15 years of their life,
Yeah.
Like they're going to be spending their time in the sport, in other other motorsports as well. So these are the people you're going to be seeing week in and week out racing. So it's a great series. It's a really good idea, but it's just season 2 I just thought wasn't done quite as well.
Yeah, and from all aspects, and when Tyler gets back, we'll ask him what he thought as well. But yeah, I just thought the editing was, I'll be quite honest, was sloppy from Netflix. Like, I mean, I edit stuff like this at work for what I do for work, and I kind of don't make those mistakes, and we're not doing the same type of work as they are, right?
Yeah,
So
for
I
sure.
mean, they've got multiple editors and reviewing and all that type of stuff, and they miss subtitles, they misspell things on subtitles. I just told you before, like, the engine noises were out of sync, but like completely, it wasn't even close. I know a lot of people complain in season 1 they put like V8, V10 sounds in,
Yeah.
and I understood it. It wasn't a big deal for me, but this year they just like completely mixed things the wrong way. And they got a bad habit of putting in like team radio when it doesn't actually happen, which I don't think is fair because like we as fans who watch like the best of team radios and stuff, we know what time those radio messages were. And they're putting it in at like races where you know it didn't happen, or
Oh,
like
for sure.
points in the race where it never would have happened. Like they put, I think in one episode, like Max when he won the race and he says like, "Yes, boys, come on," or something like that, and they put it in at like early in the race or something like that, and it just doesn't fit. You know what I mean? So
yeah, for sure.
there's a little bit of that. You know, they're trying to pull a fast one on us, but I don't know. It just sort of felt like that's how you edit a vlog almost. It just felt like an internet YouTube vlog that just like, I got all these clips.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw them together. Here you go. So I just expected more from Netflix.
Yeah, like, and I also just don't get like why make it 10 episodes and 35 minutes each. The amount of content that these guys probably record all year is probably insane. Like they probably have like terabytes on terabytes of footage.
No doubt.
And they're recording in full 4K, like doing all this. So like it's a lot of fun. It's probably not even terabytes. It's probably up there. Like they could probably make a solid 45-minute episodes, like per episode, make them 13 to 15 episodes long. They could cover the entire season and do it in a way that goes, race by race and covers each storyline and make it like a mini docuseries,
Yeah.
or I guess like a full docuseries because it wouldn't be 6 episodes long. But
Right. To me, they really struggled in direction in terms of like, where do we want to go with this?
yeah,
And I think that they need to, if they're going to do another season, and if they're going to continue this, they have to find a balance of the drama off track. So, for example, the Pierre Gasly thing, Gunter Steiner and Haas and the sponsors.
yeah,
But they also have to mix in the on track drama because that's what it's all about at the end of the day.
for sure.
The battle for the championship, the hard wheel to wheel racing, like that's what's going to really attract people who aren't fans of the sport. And then it's also what we want to see as fans of the sport.